As you start growing your practice and as you start scheduling discovery calls and consultation calls, there's a few things that you want to keep in mind when you're setting up the structure of your calls, but also setting up the pre-framing of your calls. When somebody schedules with you, there's a few different options that you have. You can make people pay for the discovery call, or you can set that up as something that's free. You can make it a donation if you choose to, and you can also apply that amount to their program fee. So there's a variety of ways to set that up. More importantly than that, you want to actually create a structure for them. So when they sign up for the discovery call, they should receive a form that you want them to fill out, and they should also receive a series of reminders, one confirming their appointment, and perhaps a confirmation 24 hours before their appointment, either through text and or email, so that they're able to confirm that they're going to show up. Reminders are very valuable, especially in the busy world that we live in. And as you know, and I know, our clients can be very busy these days, and it's easy to schedule something and sometimes even forget. So having those confirmations is really valuable and important. Now, you may also want to share case studies building up to your conversation, and also an email letting them know exactly what to expect. Okay, so it should be very clear to them what to expect. And you should also have one or two case studies that's dripped out to them before your conversation, if possible, so that they can see the transformations that you're capable of producing for people. You might even direct them to a testimonial page that you have so they can review some of the case studies if they wish to. Now, when you're on the call, the most important thing that you do is that you show up on time. You make it easy for people to connect with you. So if it's with Zoom, make sure you're sending the instructions. If it's via phone call, make sure they're clear on who's calling who so that there's no confusion there. Remember, you might be calm and relaxed, but they could be super nervous and anxious because they may not know what to expect. So helping calm their nerves is a very valuable tool in setting them up for success on that phone call. We want to be in the most calm state possible. Your presence should make them feel calm. Remember, as the sage, your presence should make them feel relaxed. They should feel calm and comfortable in your presence, and it's our job to create that. So a few things that you can do when you get on that call is, yes, you want to greet them with a big smile. You want to be there on time, of course. However, you also want to perhaps shift their nervous system tone, having them take a few relaxing breaths, setting a meaningful intention in the call from their end and also from your end, so you both know what to expect, and also setting up the stage for them to make a decision. So that could sound something like this. Mrs. Jones, if by the end of this call, we both mutually decide that this is the right next step for you, are you willing and capable of making a decision, right? And of course, the answer is going to be yes. Why would they say no to that? But you're at least setting the stage for them to say yes again later and repeating that yes. When you're on that call with them, you want to make sure you listen. Ask the right questions. I won't unpack all that right now, but you want to ask the right questions and listen. Remember, you have two ears and one mouth. I know you've heard that adage before, and it's so important and so true because one of the key differentiators that you can offer this person is listening, right? Listening is a 5-dimensional skill. So we want to be fully present, not just listening to respond, but listening to really hear what they're saying, to make them feel understood. Even repeating back to them, saying something like, just so I understand, here's what you're telling me. They don't get that very often when they're seeing their practitioner. In many cases, the practitioner does most of the talking in the traditional model. And I've learned over the years, your patient is going to tell you everything that's important to them in that quick conversation that you have. So make sure you're listening. Now, when you're presenting your offer or you're presenting your solution, what you want to also do is you want to differentiate why what you're offering them is different than what they've done in the past. We never want to put down the decisions that they've made or the people that they've worked with or the things that they've tried. You might even want to say, I could see how you thought that might work for you. Here's what I would consider. Here's how I would do it different. Here's what may have been missing. Your goal isn't to be better. Your goal is to be different. And as you demonstrate your empathy and your authority, and when you present a plan to them, you're going to show them how this plan is different than what they've done before, so they don't feel like they're going down the same rabbit hole. Now, there might be overlap because there's some foundational things that we all need to do when it comes to our health. However, there needs to be some key differentiator so they feel like this is a new journey. Next, what you want to do is you want to get an agreement. Can you see, Mrs. Jones, that if you were to do all of these things, if you were to stay accountable and be coached to these things, can you see how this would completely transform your life? And can you see how this would be different than what you've done in the past and how it can help you? And then, of course, you want to wait and listen for their answer. And then you call them into action. Here's the next step that I want you to take. Here's what we're going to do next. Okay? And if they can't move forward, or if they're not the good fit, then we want to give them some sort of transitional offer. Okay? This may not be the right time for you, or maybe this isn't the right program for you. Here's what you can do in the meantime. Remember, when most people say no, what they're really saying is not now. Now, there are going to be people that say no and think what you have to offer isn't for them, and that's okay. Give them that clarity that this isn't right for you. Maybe this is what you need and we don't offer that service. Refer them elsewhere if they need to. Be of value to them. But when somebody says not now, right, be sure that you're hearing not now. When they say no, you might want to say, is this because you don't feel this program is right for you? Is it because you can't afford it? Is it because you can't see yourself being successful? You want to smoke out any objections that they might have. Now, handling objections is a whole different conversation, but I want to give you a framework to work with. So when you're handling their objections, you may want to be aware of those objections long in advance. Usually it's time, money, and will it work for me, right? So we've designed our programs for people who don't have time. We've designed our programs to be extremely affordable without cutting corners. And we've created built-in processes and tools to ensure that we can course correct if for any reason we both feel that this isn't moving in the right direction. So we give our clients an Oura ring, we have daily coaching and accountability, we're monitoring your nutritional inputs, we're monitoring your environmental inputs and your sleep and so on and so forth. So we know that if we need to course correct, we're not waiting months in order for that to happen. We can check in and within days we can course correct action. So these are some simple things that you can build into your conversation before they even object to these objections of time, money, and will it work for me? What is the guarantee that you can offer them? We give our clients a very unique guarantee that if we put them into a program and they don't see radical transformation, and they do all the things that we tell them to do and they're totally coachable and responsive, then guess what? We apply what they paid us to actually digging deeper and finding the answer. So we could apply that towards testing. We could apply it towards targeted nutraceuticals if that's what they need to actually get to the bottom of what's going on. We're not just going to hand them their money back because they may not find the answer, right? They paid us to find an answer for them so we can reapply that towards actually finding the solution for them if we feel like that's possible. So, what's your guarantee? What's your risk reversal that gives them the assurance that they're making an awesome decision? Even companies like Apple, right? You have 14 days to use your computer, and if you don't like it, you can bring it back. That's risk reversal. And so we want to have that baked into our programs as well. And of course, once they say yes, then you're going to move towards telling them exactly what the next steps are, and then your journey continues and you partner with each other and ride off into the sunset, so to speak. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some, really clear insights on how to run your discovery call. This is an 1.5 hour long conversation, which we unpack in our mentorship and our training programs. I hope this gives you some insights and some ways on how you can rethink and revisit how you do your discovery calls when you're getting on calls with individuals. All right, talk to you soon. Bye for now.